Good afternoon. This is the Elliott Wave Daily Update for the NASDAQ 100 being recorded on Wednesday, December the 3rd at 3:01 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Um, it was a pretty wild opening, followed by a pretty consistently kind of slower move. We got a lot of move right there in the first couple of hours, and then it just kind of got kind of more directional, which triggered for me that they were doing the risk on trade, that somehow we not really we did drop below in the Qs, we dropped below the volatility trigger, but it retook it. And so it regained it, let me say. And then suddenly I'm looking up going like, wow, they are selling volatility. And I'm like, okay, so they're doing a little bit of risk on. And then I noticed likely in Tesla, in Apple, and a lot of the and some of the other stocks, it just seems that that's what they were putting back on, interestingly. Now, as far as the market goes, all of you guys realize that it's not been an easy count. And I've been working this as a possibility that Minuet Wave 1 is up here, Minuet Wave 2 is down here, or that we were in Minuet Wave 2, and this was turning into the most bizarre pattern in terms of what is going on. As it turns out, it is ending up, in my view, being a five-wave structure up and going through many iterations. So I went through one, two, and then one, two, three, four, five. Yep, I get all that. But I'm going to tell you how I actually just not discovered it, but agreed with it. When I brought it down to the line chart, I went one, two, three, four, no overlap, five of three, and then a four, no overlap. And then we're rising in that fifth wave to put in. So we're running up in five. That's going to complete sub-minuet wave five of minuet wave three. So because there's two kind of battles that I've been kind of working with here in terms of like, well, what is the bigger picture? How high do we really expect this to go? If I'm still working that we're getting ready to finish either minuet wave two and then do a minuet third wave, or possibly even minuet wave one and getting ready to do the minuet wave two and then shooting back up again when there's time factors involved that still remain sort of in place. And we've got a lot going up to and including the Fed next Wednesday. And so, yep, a lot of stuff's going to go into it. We're still getting tail end of a lot of earnings. Salesforce came out after the close today. Stock was up a lot more. Now it's only up $5. So it was up higher previously, right after the earnings came out. So, but we're still getting, earnings reports. And so everything continues to just kind of chug along, and it does now fit. So, and that sell-off this morning fits because if I was working it before in terms of if this was minuet one and we were working A and this was going to be in a regular B wave coming down in a C wave, well, it stopped and it ran. And it ran back to the highs. So it's like, nah, this can't be a wave two. It can't come in that shallow when you're looking for it to really go down and get below these levels here before it was done. So take a step back, try to figure out how could it be fives. And so that's how I figured it because over in the S&P and the ES and in the SPX, it is not fives. They were all threes and it ended up being a triangle pattern. Again, in a fourth wave position, not in a wave two position. As I talked in that update for the S&P, and I'll just repeat it here. In a wave two position, no triangles. They're just not found. And so it's ABC, or it could be double ABC, or it could be triple ABC. And you can have irregular B waves within it, but diagonal triangle or any triangle patterns, no. So having said all that, here we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep minuet one and minuet two down here, the first one and two, and I'm going to go back over to here. One, two, and then one, two, three, four. We're in five, and that's going to get ready to complete the sub-minuet wave five of minuet wave three. What are our markers? First up We have 2.618, where wave 5 would be 2.618 of wave 1, which is pretty small. And that comes in at 25,812. Sub-minuet wave 5 would be 100% of wave 1 at 25,847 or 25,850. And then if we kind of get that good old rally going again, which we could, um, then we have 26,055, and then up for 1.618 for this fifth wave, 26,255. Now, it wouldn't surprise me within this minuet third wave that we did go up and started to break above 26,399 or 26,400 to finish minuet wave 3 of minute wave 5. That would puts us at the new high, which we need to create, and starts to set the stage for getting up to these higher levels where we'll be finishing the whole picture up to that primary third. So I'm still in line that way in terms of what I'm looking for. Timing wise, I think this is going to work out better because wave 3, I think, finishes, we go into a wave 4, and then possibly we jump into wave 5. I'm just speculating now because what we have coming up that a week from today. So let's say between tomorrow and next Wednesday, we get up and finish minuet wave 3, come down and finish minuet wave 4, and then possibly minuet wave 5 gets kicked off from the Fed. Or we finish this all before the Fed and the Fed kicks it down. I don't know. So again, I think I'm not going to try to fit the picture into what's coming, although it's going to have an effect one way or the other. So I'm going to leave it as here, as is. And everything kind of is doing pretty well. And the fact that the rally did, they just were not willing to continue to take this down. On the 15-minute, it was pretty strong. But as you can see, they bought it. That was the opening. They bought it up. They brought it back down. And I thought, oh, okay, we're good. I thought it was going to be like a 1, 2, and that was a 3, and this was a 4. We're going to come down and we're really just going to keep going. No. Didn't make a new low. And then we just started to climb. And then we kept climbing all the way up into the bell. And then we sold off a little bit after. Okay, now opening a little bit lower here. Now, I suppose, let me just check one thing. Because some 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This could be 5 waves up right into here. So I cannot go and say, nope, no way can it be that we still need to get up here. I can probably, wherever the high is, I think it might have been there, wherever that high is, you can mark it as complete. And then we start to pull back. And if that's the case, then this becomes a 5, and that minuet wave 3 goes above that. So right now, I'm thinking, well, I think we should get up into here and complete it clean and then pull back or even higher. But we'll see. Okay. Tomorrow we have initial jobless claims, and that's it. Friday's the bigger data dump, and we have a couple of back reports that are being put out now, the most important being the PCE. And that's about it in terms of that. Gamma levels. I'm going to update them tomorrow morning, but more importantly today, they really were kicking in more in the ETF versus the index in the futures market itself. I'll tell you when it broke in the Qs, which have been the volatility trigger, the futures market, of course, paid close attention and went right with it. So, but it did not. In the NASDAQ itself, in the NQ, the volatility trigger was not threatened. So I am going to continue to look for a little bit more upside. Put in this 5, put in this 5, and then this 5, and that 3. And then we'll do another 4, and then we have another 5. Now, alternately, I think because over in the S&P, and possibly even here, we can get 5 waves up, which then would just bring about a stronger downside now. I'm not looking for secondary fallout. I think, we have Microsoft, is trading up off of where it closed, not roaring ahead. But we'll see because again, we're in a finishing rally of a very longer term rally period. So from October of 2022, that's the latest section of it that we're finishing. Up top is going to be a primary third. So we're looking down the barrel of a larger correction in the form of a primary fourth wave would be an ABC of intermediate degree, and there's going to be a lot higher degree than what we're dealing with. We're going to have an ABC down, and that projects back to those 2022 lows. To be honest, that would be a place where I think the market can get back to before we turn and start to rally more consistently. So this has been a challenge to count because of the volatility, the intraday volatility, the sudden sell-offs, the sudden just buying it straight back, today having reason to sell it. I mean, whatever's happening. But then remember that I don't know if it would have been as severe had it just not, if there wasn't all the algorithms behind it that you just kind of plug it in and it goes and does what it needs to do. But I'm finding that algorithms can change quickly. Again, breaking volatility triggers, breaking gamma levels as things build up and things get adjusted. That continues to be a factor in what type of move is going to be presented or what's going to happen. And one of the factors this morning that kind of was behind the severity of the decline was that the market wasn't really trading yet. It was pre-market, it was thin. And so if they were coming in and trying to move 50 or 25 or 50 or 100 futures, well, you knocked it down. You knocked it down pretty quick. So again, we're going to just kind of hang in there and we're going to do it day by day here, to be honest with you. So again, I am looking that we're finishing up Minuet Wave 3. I've had this count before. I've kept it, but I kept running a different count, different particular labeling count. Both have the same meaning. It's just that what becomes different is how high the market's going to get. If I'm moving the degrees down here, then this is Minuet Wave 3, not Minuet Wave 1 and then 2. So that kind of got nullified today by this and then the follow through back to the upside. So going back again to 1 and 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to finish 3, and then a 4 and a 5. All right, that's where I'm gonna complete it. And the gamma levels will be updated tomorrow morning on the morning update.